you know it's a Friday when you match and you don't even try to. You know it's something special when you don't even try to match, and then your co-host sits down with the light baby blue on too, and you're just like, oh, that's how we doing it
That's how
today.
we doing it. That's how we
Now
doing
I
it.
understand. We are back one more time, Ace and the. You got to put the Quiet Storm, and you need to pause. The Quiet Storm is in the building one more time. We appreciate y'all. Come
Yeah.
on in, get comfortable. We're just here to talk about why there is so much money going on this free agency, man. We got some crazy things going on. We got some crazy things that haven't even happened yet. But first and
Yeah.
foremost, we definitely have to show the love to the man, the myth, the Quiet Storm. How you feeling today, Pop?
I am doing well. I'm doing good. It is a beautiful day outside. It's a wonderful time to be here with you, my son, my man, my mellow, all those attributes. It is
We
good
here.
to be able to be up here, and God has blessed us, and God has enriched us plentifully, and for us to be here together, it's a blessing. So I am blessed, and yes, everyone. We're glad to have you here with us on Ace
Yes,
in the
yes.
Quiet Storm because we got a lot to talk about,
Listen, we got
and
some
we got
things to really get
and
into. I don't even
um,
know where we want to start. You know
I
what?
don't either.
Let's
I don't
start.
either.
Let's start fun. Yes, Celtics made the finals.
Uh-huh.
They pushed Golden State to 6 games, and all of a sudden they look over to the corner, and Malcolm Brogdon, come on over here, man. How you feel?
Yeah.
That now
Um.
that's the signing that because of the KD and the Kyrie stuff, because of the Gobert
Mhm,
stuff, we'll touch on all
mhm.
that. A lot of this Brogdon stuff wasn't touched on
No.
as to how smart and perfectly fit that move is for Boston. Talk about it.
Well, here's what I like about it, and if there's any one thing about that development, that trade, is Brogdon's health history.
Okay.
If that can get figured out, you're talking about an all-star level guard with size, and and he's a. I love Marcus Smart. I do. He is a intense. He's a guy that you want on your team.
Right.
But the better ball handler would be Brogdon. The better finisher around the rim would be Brogdon. The better facilitator would be Brogdon. And I think Boston recognized that, especially against Golden State. The better pure shooter of the two would be Brogdon.
Right.
Um, I think going into that series, it would have been hard to beat Golden State, to outshoot Golden State. Um, Now they have a chance to not just put points on the board, but they also have a chance to defend even better. Brogdon is a very good defender. So I like that move. I think that move is only being overshadowed because of the ridiculousness of the money going around to some other
There's
players.
so much going
And
on, man.
but you look at that deal for Boston, it puts them right up there in top 2 or 3 in the conference for next year.
Yeah, of course.
Um, I think also, and when you look at the Celtics, who do they have to beat next year if those teams are healthy? Well, you have to deal with the Milwaukee with a healthy Chris Middleton. You're gonna have
Of
to deal
course.
with that, right? You're gonna have to deal with Miami yet again, right? Miami's going to be Miami. They're going to be well coached. They're gonna do what they have to do. I think a unsung deal also Boston did was for Gallinari. I think that
I like Gallinari for them.
he will stretch that defense. He will hit the shot. He will be he's going to be a problem. And
I
I
like
think
Gallinari for
Boston,
them.
right? And I think they needed that. They needed to be able to shore up their bench because Golden State's bench thoroughly outplayed Boston's bench. Thoroughly.
Yeah.
Boston did not give up any of their top 8 core players for Brogdon, right? So you didn't have to give up anybody who was going to be a major contributor next year.
Right.
That's a steal. That's and
That's big time, man.
you have to give Brad Stevens some credit as a I don't like you don't like when you're giving up draft picks, but if you were gonna not have a first round pick, this year's draft would have been the draft to not do that. Now you have to give up your next year's
You do.
draft picks, right? Unless you put some pieces together and you go take someone else's. So I think Boston has done an outstanding job um, in building their roster with little fanfare.
I
I
agree.
think that, they've done a very good job of getting better. I think Boston right now is better than the team that lost in six. Um, uh, Lost in six to Golden State. Now Delvin 902. Brad Stevens, the only person who got fired and promoted at the same time. Uh, Hate to break it to
That
you,
was stupid.
homie,
That
but
was stupid,
he
man.
didn't get you didn't get fired if you got promoted.
Yeah, listen, man.
It don't work that way. So if you either promoted or you're out the door. So um,
Brad is much better at this than I thought he would be this fast. Um,
mhm,
like it's just smart moves. You don't break anything up. There was the temptation there to break things up for AD. There's a temptation there to break up there for Durant, and he just
mhm,
stayed the course. And I think this core, as long as they can get along, as long as Brown and Tatum see things the same way,
yes.
I think they'll be fine moving forward. As long as those two guys are there, everybody else is going to fall in line well. And Brogdon's a great player, man. He's going to go in, he's going to do exactly what he needs to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
So Boston did what they're supposed to do. The Bulls did what they're supposed to do. Re-sign Zach Levine. We'll see what happens
Good
when they
move.
put things around there. We
Excellent
signed
move.
Goran Dragic. I like that move as well.
Yep.
Um, the things Bradley Beal stayed. He stayed and got his money, man. Now
He did. That he
here's what's
did.
funny about the Bradley Beal thing. And listen, any young black man getting your money, get paid, man. We are here. We're for sale. Listen, Brad Beal, if you like this, if you wanna put your logo right there, we got you. We'll be right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, but
Mm-hmm.
but Brad Beal, the thing with Brad, right before he got paid, is like, listen, winning means so much to me, man. I absolutely wanna. And then they said, Brad, we about to get you this over the next 5, and he said,
You
loyalty is
know,
really important to me,
loyalty
man.
really important to me, man.
I'm not mad at him, man. I'm not mad at him. Get paid, young man, because this is an
Listen, and
unbelievable
you're
amount of
talking
money
about
that they're throwing
NBA
on.
contracts where you get
Where
paid. It's guaranteed money.
Yeah, and that's guaranteed
It's
money.
guaranteed money. It's
Things are
no
getting
if you don't play, you don't get paid. Nah, I'm getting paid.
nah. I need
And
my money,
if you
baby.
Bradley Beal, listen, if you had to say, Ace in the Quiet Storm, listen, uh ESPN want to put you on at midnight to 1 o'clock segment for 2 million each a year. But you're
Guess where
gonna
you gonna find us?
guess what? We love y'all.
Guess where you gonna find us, man? We'll see y'all. Listen, we
We'll
gonna see
see.
y'all at midnight, man.
We'll
We
see
gonna
you
see
at
y'all at
midnight, man.
midnight. We got
This
the
this
social
gonna happen.
medias, and we'll figure it out.
What?
Like
We'll
that's a
figure it out.
lot. That's a lot of money, man.
Money, listen.
That's a
We
lot
can still
of
listen,
money.
and this is what we want you to do. We're gonna have production shows, and we want to have an idea stuff. We're gonna have a facilitator. We're gonna give you somebody to facilitate your show and keep you on track with the subject of the day. Okay, no problem. How much?
It's a
how
lot.
much?
It's a
How much
lot of
again?
money.
2 million.
Yeah, man. It's a
You
lot
do
of
what
money
you
that
need
they're
to
giving
do.
these players.
We'll handle that. These
These players.
players are getting money now. With
It's
in a
never been seen.
supposedly, it's supposed to be salary cap. But listen, this
Come on now.
is there really any such thing as a
Come on
cap?
now. Come on now.
Right? You look at some of these teams and you say, okay, well, can they afford to do this? Can they afford to do that? Okay, what you do is you shift enough pieces, making $2 million on your roster, and you ship 4 or 5 of those guys out. Now you got about a cool 12 million to
Listen.
add on what you already have to pay
All it is,
somebody.
man. Listen, hey, rich guy, do you want to pay the luxury tax? Yes. All right,
Do you
man.
want to pay it? Yes. Do you
Come
don't?
on over here.
Listen, we'll pay the
That's all it
luxury tax
is.
because
We'll
that's what
pay
we're
the
gonna do.
luxury tax.
I'll make up that luxury tax in promotions. I'll make it up in jersey sales. I'll make it up with concessions.
Look
I'll
at the
make it up with
Warriors.
all of this.
Look at the Warriors. The
We ain't
Warriors
worried
are
about
sold out. The
those
Warriors are sold out. every single game.
That's right.
Jersey sales are great. Everybody, it's the most support. They're going to support. They're going to make their money. We don't care about
Right.
no salary
So
cap.
okay, if I got to pay $50 million in luxury tax, okay,
If I got to pay 400 million,
$100
it's cool. We'll figure it out. My team is worth about 5, 6 billion.
billion,
We're
right?
going to be fine, man.
And
It's
let's take
we're
that
going to be
same
fine.
mentality, and let's take that same mentality, if you will, to football or baseball. Steve Cohen, New York Mets, owner of the New York Mets, a hedge
What's up,
fund
Mets?
billionaire, right?
Right.
Hedge fund
Finally, we got
billionaire,
some money in the Mets.
right?
Good
So
lord.
now Steve Cohen is thinking the Los Angeles Dodgers won a World Series a couple of years ago with the highest payroll in baseball.
Ever.
They didn't care about their luxury tax. They won a world
No,
championship. So
we win.
everything that they print from that point on of that year, world champion. All the Dodger fans, they're going to want that, right? Imagine the money that's going to flow into Steve Cohen just by the Mets being relevant in 1 year. Just by them being relevant. Last night they had a game against the Florida Marlins on a Thursday night, and the damn place was almost sold out.
Listen, man.
Right?
we-
So luxury
Especially New
tax.
York, when you're
Oh
good,
my God! Of
people want to
course,
show up. We're going to be at a
absolutely,
game sometime this year. We going. We're gonna
absolutely.
slide right in there. You're gonna see us right on the
You
front
gonna
page,
see us right
like
in
at
there. Boom. There we
just like
are.
the end of life. We're gonna be sitting up there just
So,
with hot
and, and
dogs,
and
just
that's the thing.
chilling.
So these teams know if they want the player they truly want, there's no such thing as can't afford. Is what you doing is, are you willing to pay that luxury tax?
Are you gonna
Yes.
pay the luxury
So
tax?
who's going to go where? Right? So you're looking at Brogdon, you're looking at Brunson now, right? You're looking at possible, Gobert, Rudy Gobert. Really, you gave up that much for Rudy
Listen,
Gobert?
they gave up 4 firsts
I
for
mean,
Rudy, man.
Rudy
Now
Gobert.
listen, and now I see your face. I understand. Rudy Gobert is, you can argue, he's the best defensive big man in the league.
Uh huh.
It matters. He can run. You know, he can.
Oh yeah, like a gazelle.
Yeah, he can defend.
Yeah, he dunks
He can
real well.
rebound. He can
Yeah, he
rebound.
dunks. Yeah, he's a great
Listen,
dunker.
but he's defensive player. There's a difference between being good on defense and being defensive player of the year caliber, and it matters. Now, 4 first round picks for Rudy, but I understand it. It's too much, but I
But
get it. You want to go win. You want to go win.
okay, if you're Minnesota
You want to go
and you
win
think
now,
that you
though.
can win that conference, then
You
you
go
you
get
get
Rudy
you go
Gobert.
get him and you pair him in the paint with Carl Anthony Towns. You got a squad there. You got
Anthony Edwards is that
Anthony
guy.
Edwards. Yeah, you got a
Anthony Edwards
squad
is
over
becoming
there.
that guy.
You
Things
know,
are going to be fun.
listen,
Things are
and
going
you
to
know
be
what?
fun
And you
over
don't have
there.
that little extra with Pat
And
Bev
this is
anymore. You know what I
exactly
mean?
what I think is going to happen.
Yep.
Win
But
55 games, they lose in the second. I 100% feel
I agree.
like no matter what, there's just something. I mean, D'Angelo Russell, I don't know if he's a guy who can run and facilitate that team the way that it needs to be run and facilitated.
Hmm.
They need a guy like, man, I don't even know. Like,
Malcolm
not a
Brogdon.
specific. Brogdon would have been very
Brogdon would have
interesting
been
for
a
them.
perfect fit for them to
Brogdon would have been
facilitate
real
that
interesting
offense.
for them.
Right.
You
You
know,
need a guard that
D'Angelo
knows how
seemed
to
to
put
lose his confidence
people.
last year a little bit.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell
Yeah.
wasn't that same guy,
No,
and
he wasn't.
it might have been because Pat Bev was there. He's pretty strong. He's got that influence. Anthony Edwards coming into his own. He likes the ball in his hands a little bit more. Carl
Hmm.
Anthony Towns. Look, there's so much talent on that team, though, man. They're going to be fun
They're
to
going to be,
watch.
that Western Conference as a whole is deeper as far as quality playoff teams in the Eastern Conference. You look
Right.
the Western Conference, you know, you have Memphis, who's very up and coming team. You
Yeah.
have Minnesota. The you have Phoenix. You have Golden State.
Listen,
You
how
have
much
some
of
teams out
this
there
Kenny
that's
Lofton Jr. kid have you been watching the summer league? Because Memphis got this kid named Kenny Lofton
Eddie Lofton
Jr.
Jr.
who looks like Glenn Robinson mixed with you know what I mean, Rod Strickland. He's out there. I like that kid, man.
Yeah,
I know it's
yeah.
summer league, but Memphis is going to have a bunch of young dogs, and they're ready to come back for kid, and they're going right after the king. They want Warrior smoke. They want to talk as crazy to the Warriors as they want to get. And then you got, you got the Blazers. They just re-signed Dame to,
Yeah.
$600 billion that he's going to get paid. You have to think maybe that's a Durant destination.
Mhm. Well,
You're
yeah.
looking at the Clippers. The Clippers get Kawhi back. Paul George is going to be healthy, and now they add John Wall. Things are going to get interesting over there with the Clippers. And then, yeah, man, you're looking at the Lakers in the corner. Like, I
Yeah. Yeah.
understand. It seems like the Kyrie deal is going to happen. It seems like they're going to replace Russ with Kyrie. And if you replace Russ with Kyrie and you have Kyrie, LeBron, AD, you still have Kyrie, LeBron, AD. On paper, you look at it, and if it all makes sense and it all just meshes,
On paper,
it's going to be interesting,
you're gonna
man.
get AD for 42 games, maybe, right? So really,
young Fre- young
you're gonna
marshmallow. He's so
really you're
marshmallowy,
gonna
man.
you're gonna have really Kate and Kyrie. You don't know if he's gonna come every day. He may decide to go surfing at midnight to catch the waves or something. I mean, and hurt himself. I mean, you just don't know. Do you want Kyrie Irving in California?
You
Do you want?
do,
I don't know.
you
I don't know if
do,
you want him in the
you
state of
do,
California
man.
because he's going to be somewhere.
Would
Listen,
you rather? Would you rather Russ or Kyrie?
I'd rather have Kyrie any day
All right, that's all I'm
any
saying.
day, any
That's
day.
all I'm saying. That's what it
Any
comes
day.
down to.
But
That's what it comes down to.
as bad as he was, he came to work every night and was just bad.
So, all right,
so,
all
but
right.
so
You
at
at
least
work,
you
you
knew he was
chilling.
coming,
You at
right?
work, you good. You chilling at work. You look over, somebody got the forklift, and they got the forks up right at your eye level, and they're just stabbing everything with the forklift, lifting up the bags with the forklift and not the pallets. And Russ is like, "What's up, man? I'm out here. I got here on time." And you just like, "Yo, Russ, you got the forks in the dog food
You gotta
again.
see.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that."
This is what happens with this is what sadly happens with professional sport. You can be playing at a high level and you get
You
that 1 year
listen.
where everything you throw is a brick.
He
I
was
mean, he's
bad,
now
man.
now he's Russell Brickwood or whatever
Westbrook is what they call him. Don't call him
West
that.
Brick,
Don't call him that, man.
right?
He's Russell
I mean,
Westbrook. He's still an
he's
NBA
still
caliber
Russell
player,
Westbrook.
but
And
he's not on the
what if
Lakers,
Russ
man.
comes back and now
No,
he's back to the triple double guy that you always
he can't be. He
thought he
can't
was?
shoot. He
He
can't
could
shoot it.
he never
He
could
can't shoot on
shoot.
that team.
On there you go. There's the key.
He can't
That
shoot on that
team,
team.
he's
You
not the
need
same guy.
the
He's not the same
blueprint
guy.
for LeBron and AD is simple. The blueprint for LeBron, his whole career has been simple. Get LeBron, get guys who can run, and get shooters who can spot up. He'll find you. Russell Westbrook fits none of that. There's a
The
reason why
Lakers,
LeBron kept getting these teams to the finals because he would put them on his back, but he would find a Mo Williams to knock down threes. He
those
would
days are
find
over, man.
he'd find JR and Iman
You're
Shumpert
right.
knock
You're
down the
right.
threes.
Them days
Like
is
that's
over,
it. Can
man.
you defend? Can you knock down open shots? The Lakers should keep Carmelo because he's still a shot maker. He
Yeah,
can
he can
come in,
still
he
shoot
can
the
get you
ball.
some points. And then Russ, listen, man, they should be like, yo, Nets, listen, take Russ and whatever. What else do you need other than LeBron and AD to make this happen to give us Kyrie? That's it. Because if you can get rid of, but what's crazy is it seems like if you give away Russ some money down the line and maybe Horton Tucker, that
Uh-huh.
seems to be everything that I'm reading seems to be that's all you need to go get Kyrie. You do that now.
Okay.
What are we waiting for? But people are just worried about he can have him and Phil Jackson. They can have a Zenoff. They can just see who has the best candle collection in the California. I don't care what they do. Just bring it, man. Bring
All right.
LeBron, Kyrie.
Listen, this is what you have right now in LA, right? We're not gonna talk about Braun because Braun gonna bring it. He gives it 100%, right? So you got LeBron,
Right.
right? They got DJ Augustin.
Augustine.
I'm sorry, Augustine. DJ
Augustine. You gotta
Augustine. Carmelo Anthony,
shout out to Texas.
38 years old.
Don't worry about how
DJ
old Carmelo is. He's a
Augustine,
bucket still.
34 years old.
Wait, they don't have Carmelo because he's an unrestricted free agent,
He's
so he's not
unrestricted. But if you
technically
bring
on
him
their
back,
team.
well,
Right.
he's an unrestricted free agent until he signs with someone else, right?
Yeah, of course.
So right now he's a Laker until he's not a
No,
Laker. Now I
no,
don't
he's
think he's
not.
coming back. I don't think
He's
he's
not
coming
at
back.
anything. He can
Honestly,
like the
I
Lakers
think
don't
he's
have to
going
match
back to New York.
anything.
To be honest with you, but that's just me.
What to the Knicks?
I think he's going back to New York.
Knicks with the
He's
Brunson?
had
The Knicks gave up a lot for Brunson. Listen,
or
110
he
million
could
dollars
end
for
up
Brunson.
going
Oh
back
my
home.
gosh,
He's from Baltimore. He's from the Baltimore
he ain't
area.
going no damn DC.
He might go to the
Come on, man.
Wizards, man.
Come
At
on,
this
B.
point in Carmelo's career, he's not going to a contender. Who's going to
He's
pick him
not
up?
the Lakers.
No, they're not. They might.
Yes, they will. They
They
might.
might. They might. You know, and like you said,
The
he gets
Lakers.
buckets, right? He'll get you 10 to 12 off the bench,
Right. That's all you
right?
need.
All right. Anthony Davis. Eh,
Listen,
man.
don't, don't. You
Anthony
can't
Davis.
AD,
Anthony
man.
Davis
You
should
can't.
be an MVP candidate every year.
He has to
He
be for
has
them
that
to be
talent.
championship
He has that
caliber.
type of talent.
He
He just
does.
and it's a shame that because you've seen him dominate games in ways you don't see guys like Anthony Davis is a magnificent player when he's on the court. Then that's the problem with him, keeping him on the court. Right? Who else do they got on that wonderful team? Wayne Ellington,
What up, Wayne?
North Carolina. I like him.
Oh, now you like him. Now you
No, I've always
now
liked
you
him. I've
you
always
haven't
liked
mentioned
him.
Wayne Ellington one time in the
Yeah, because
last
I don't follow the
5 years.
Lakers. I'm
Every
not
time
trying
I
to.
see you, he
Nah.
wasn't on the Lakers for that long. I see
Exactly.
you. I see you. Okay.
Scottie Pippen Jr. Do you think he's gonna make out there?
Scott Pippen Jr., man. What up,
Okay.
Scotty?
You think he's gonna be okay in the NBA?
I think he'll make the team.
Okay. Um,
Who else? Listen, they need somebody to make this damn
I
team,
mean, I'm
man.
trying to find a shooter that's currently under contract with them. Other than they don't have one. They don't have a
Here
pure shooter. Other than if your best pure shooter is Carmelo Anthony
they
at
they
this
want
point,
they want
then
Seth Curry back in this Kyrie
okay,
deal.
okay,
Now, Joe Harris has been floating around. If it's a matter of taking back Joe Harris can
okay.
shoot his ass off.
Yes, that he
Take
can.
Joe Harris. Just get the deal done at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And then let's move on and see where Durant's going. Now, people saying Durant doesn't want to be traded. I don't think Durant wants to be. Durant's not trying to be in there. He sees the writing on the wall. Now, Durant wants to go to Phoenix or
Hmm.
Miami. The Nets aren't. I don't care where you want to go, cuz if Orlando makes us the best deal, that's where you're going.
Okay.
Like it doesn't really
Right.
matter.
Right.
But I think Durant ultimately ends up in Phoenix.
You think
I
so?
think, yeah, man. I think Phoenix puts DeAndre Ayton um and either Mikal Bridges or Cam Johnson, a pick or two on the board, and they say send back Durant. And then I think you get Booker, Durant, and Chris Paul to try to run it back there. And if I'm Phoenix, I do that because Durant doesn't have to be the vocal leader. He doesn't have to be the emotional leader. Chris Paul is there already, and Booker's already established himself as somebody that people look at too. Durant cannot be your guy. He can't be the number one alpha guy on the team. He's fragile mentally. That's why I
Okay.
had him at number 15 last week. Like I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I couldn't.
I don't.
And now
I didn't think
it
mental
matters, man. It
softness.
matters if you can't lead. If you can't lead like these other guys, like the greats do, it matters.
He
He
was.
won his championships on a team where Draymond is your emotional leader, and he's taking the bullets and everything. Durant left. Durant left. Durant left because people started making him feel bad that he was on a team that was a super team. Oh, your wins don't count. Oh, your championships. And he let that get in his head, and he left the best basketball situation ever for him.
Mhm.
He should still be in Golden State, and they should have won five. Like that's it. Run it back that next year. I understand, but he left. So now he's sitting in Brooklyn, looking at Kyrie sage himself all on out of here, and now he's looking at Bruce Brown left them. You got Steve Nash as a coach. They're an expansion. They're a weird put together expansion team with Durant and Kyrie on it. Steve Nash is your coach. Why? What has Steve Nash done? Now you're picking up Kyrie's like that. We ain't got no coach, man. I'm Steve Nash. I'm showing up, and Kyrie's like, we don't have a coach. Kyrie's running around Boston Garden with big sage leaves. Like it's weird out there. It's weird. Durant got to take 38 shots, and like he's just out here. Like it's weird out here. Blake Griffin is now a spot up 3-point shooter. What are we doing, bro? Like this team is god. This team is terrible.
Mm.
It was never gonna really work when you
Well,
really look at it.
the problem that I think that the Nets have, that they have always had since the 90s, early 2000s, when they were really good. They have not had an identity. They have not had a real leader on that team since the days of Jason Kidd and Vince Carter and Kenyon Martin and Jefferson. Man, that team was outstanding.
That team was very
Back to
good.
back finals. Um,
It smoked in back to
Coached
back
well.
finals.
Yeah, I mean, they got smoked. Yeah, they got smoked. They got it handed to them, but they played some teams that they weren't going to beat. You know what I
No,
mean?
of
They
course
just
not.
weren't going to beat those teams.
Of course not.
Um, but they played, at least they had an identity, a defensive toughness, run the court. They had shooters. They don't have anything going for them, and trying to buy I won't say buy championships because that's not fair to say, because everybody's trying to buy something, but trying to build a team, a super team, is killing basketball. And I can respect the Warriors, and in some cases the Celtics, for building your team, developing your team, and making it work.
Ah,
Because
the
honestly,
Warriors won 2 championships with Kevin Durant, man.
no, yeah, they did, but they won those, but they
They did win
also
this one
won two
without him.
championships without him,
100%.
right?
Yes.
So
But
they still
everybody had a little
showed
super team fever.
that if you had
Pierce Garnett, Ray
exactly,
Allen had super
exactly,
team fever.
exactly.
There's
Yep.
things talking. Everybody's got a little. Oh, what happens if this guy goes here?
Yeah, that
Like,
we got to try to get better and beat this.
yeah,
We got to
man.
do this to beat that. We got to do
Right,
this to beat this, and
right.
that's what happens. And
That's why I respect Milwaukee because they listen. Bring in Giannis. We had
that's
Middleton
true.
here. They
Yep.
haven't. You've never heard Milwaukee and the likes of. All right, man. Let's just risk it all to go get this guy to pair with Giannis. If
Okay.
they could, maybe they would. I don't. Maybe they can still, but
Yeah.
nah. There's something about it. But I
Yeah.
I think
But
Durant ends up in
sometimes I
Phoenix.
think sometimes culture, the culture of your franchise, the culture of your team matters.
Right.
I think um, I think Milwaukee has done it the right way. I like the way Miami continues to
Miami.
do things a certain way. You
Yeah.
know,
They were
um,
the Heatles. That
yeah,
still matters too. Like it's just
that, yeah,
everybody has a little bit of the super team thing in their mind.
yeah.
Everybody wants to say, "Listen, oh, if we can make this happen, why not?"
Why
And that's
not?
cool. And that's I guess that's just how it is now. But obviously the big domino is where does Durant go? Is
Hmm.
Kyrie? Is this deal finally going to happen with the Lakers for Kyrie? There was talk of everything from maybe Durant and Kyrie end up in LA and AD and Russ get shipped out. Who knows what's going to happen, man? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? But I don't know. What I will say is, I think this weekend the Kyrie thing finally comes to a head. I think we get Kyrie to the Lakers this weekend, and then
Well,
from
I think it
there,
has to happen
it
sooner.
has to it has to
It
happen
has
this
to,
weekend. I think.
because you have to start thinking. The summer league has already started, right?
Hmm.
Um, Players or teams that are looking for lightning in a bottle are hoping to find it during the summer league. They're hoping that their draftees, their draft picks, develop with better competition now to get them ready. And then you got to start looking at training camps and stuff like that. So if you're going to go get a Kyrie, you need to get a Kyrie and hope that between now and training camp, your saging and all of your, namaste and
Get that
all
stage.
that, you gotta
Yeah,
get
like
that. You
nobody knew
gotta,
Kyrie
you
was going
know,
to turn into Rashid Sunflower. Nobody saw this
no,
coming.
nobody saw that
No
coming.
one saw it coming, man. But the
And
man
and
can
and,
hoop.
and
But
now,
he's so cold on the court. Oh my
oh,
goodness.
listen, on the court, Kyrie has the best handle.
He's so
Kyrie
ever.
is a great finisher around the rim. He's probably the best finisher around the rim
He's
for a
probably the
guard I've
best like
seen ever.
yeah, ever.
I mean, that
He-
guy is phenomenal,
right. His afro just
phenomenal.
stinks. You know his
And
afro stinks. But
you
it
know,
doesn't but it don't matter because he's on the court getting busy out here.
No, he has birds in his hair. I'm sure he probably has a couple of nests going on in
He
there.
probably got a couple
Oh,
birds.
let me take a couple.
He probably
All
got
right,
a
you got
couple
to come out his
birds.
game night. And
Yeah,
listen, Kyrie's different. Yes, is he different? Yes, he's different.
but man, he
You
can ball.
can't question his ability on the court, and that's the shame about him because those years he was in Cleveland, gosh, that kid was great, man.
He was
You
great.
just saw Kyrie just
He's had
do
flashes
things,
everywhere, man. He's still
and I
that.
mean,
He's still good.
he's fearless. He's an assassin. Like he will. That shot against Golden State, that one that clinched the championship,
Murder, man.
was
It takes a
murder,
it
and
it
he
takes
was
a
defended
true
well on that
basketball
shot. It
killer.
wasn't like,
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't like Steph
he called for
just
the
left him open.
ISO.
Nah,
I'm scoring, bro.
I'm scoring.
I'm
I don't care who
scoring.
you are. I'm scoring, and I mean nothing but net. I mean the guy can play, man.
He can hoop, man.
And if he hoops, if he gets out of his own way and hoops the way, and he go and say he does go to LA,
Lakers, yeah.
and then listen, Lakers become top
It gets
three, top
interesting,
four.
man.
It gets
It gets
interesting now.
interesting.
It gets interesting,
It
and
gets
now
interesting.
you don't put so much pressure on an AD. Maybe AD stays around. Maybe AD is
You
playing a little bit more. Maybe AD is being set up better for shots. Maybe AD is not doing so much ISO. Maybe so having a guard like that
it
with
matters.
it helps your
It
team
matters.
across the board in ways that doesn't show up on the stat sheet so much.
Yeah.
And
And he's
maybe
definitely right.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. And he's definitely got birds in his hair. Speaking of bird, we'll segue. I don't know if you wanted to, you know what I mean, if you wanted to like touch on if you had any caveats from last week. Last week got crazy out here. People got a little hostile with the top 15.
Listen, the
I
top
will say
15 got a little
so
conversation. I got
so speaking of bird,
especially some of
I
your
heard
picks.
y'all. I heard y'all bird at 11. That's crazy. You know what? I apologize. You're right. He's 12. Kobe is 11. So that's my fault. I apologize for not putting Kobe ahead. I should have put Kobe ahead of Bird. Bird is number 12. That's my fault. That's on me.
Oh,
And you know that's on me.
listen
I
to him.
apologize. I
Uh,
apologize for Bird top 5. Come on, bro. Come on,
listen,
man. Let's stop playing with me.
listen, man. I'm not
That's
changing
all
a
I wanted to
damn
say.
thing about my list. My list is gold. My list is what it is. I'm sticking by it. If I change it now, then that makes me a sucker. I am not doing that.
Yeah, man, that's
My
all I'm
list is
doing.
my list.
Yeah, that's all
So
I'm doing.
at the
I'm putting
same,
Kobe ahead of
listen.
Bird because Bird don't want nothing with Kobe either. I don't hear nothing about no damn Bird, man. French lick.
I tell you
Wasn't
what.
nobody hooping in French lick, man.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
Larry
one
Joe
guy.
Bird.
Yeah, that's cool.
Larry
Larry
Joe
Joe
Bird.
Bird. Yeah, the 12th best player of all time.
Right.
Absolutely.
And listen, but you know what? If you got him 12 all time,
That's ever. It matters.
French Lick
It's
will
ever.
take that. Right? I got him a little higher than that,
I bet
but that's
everybody from
me.
French Lick wants all the problems.
Oh
Nobody
yeah,
from French Lick
they
beat
want to
me.
see you, man. They want to
Can't
see you.
nobody from a town named French Lick want problems. That's it. If you from French
Yeah, they
Lick, you
want to
don't.
see you, man.
What's up?
They
Come
want you
on,
to do it.
I'm
They're
right
gonna want
here.
you to do a show one day from French Lick.
Anyway, I'm never going to French Lick. There ain't nobody that look like me in French Lick. I'm good. French Lick my ass on out of here.
Hey man, Larry
Larry was
Joe.
nice. He's the 12th like ever. He's the 12th best player of all time. That's
Let
all
me
the
go to
players ever to live.
let me go to the
12.
NBA 75
Oh
anniversary
yeah,
team.
I bet they
And
got
let me
him
see
at
where they
like
got Larry.
they got him at
Nah,
like
I
five,
won't say that.
6.
I
Right? They
won't say
probably got him
that.
at
I
like
don't
5
think
or
so.
something crazy. You know, like, he's not the 5th best player ever, bro. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Can't nobody from French Lick beat
Now,
me.
see, the 75 list only has 75 players. They don't list them in by ranking. So and then that's fair. You know what I mean? You don't want to
Right?
start no conversation. If you're the NBA, you're
No,
not trying to get on that.
no.
You know what I mean? You don't want to get into that.
Yeah, that's fine. My list is exactly how it is, except I had Bird one spot too high. Get back, get behind Kobe, Larry. We don't need you up here, my man. You'll be all right.
All right.
You'll be all right.
Okay.
You tough. That's it, man. That's all we got for the free agency. So we got for there. I know you wanted. I see the hat. I know you want to get a little bit. You want to get a little bit of this Mets joy about your system. Scherzer came back, 10 strikeouts. Things are starting to look okay. Things are starting
Listen,
to look nice for the Mets out here, man.
here's what you get with the Mets, right?
Go ahead, man. Talk to him.
Um, for all you Yankee fans out there, I have deep respect for you, right?
Here we
I
go.
hear
This
about the
Yankee team.
27, 28 championships. I
Who
know, I know.
cares?
You're
Oh
the
my
Yankees. You're the
God.
Yankees. You're the Yankees.
That's cute,
Um,
man.
I've always tell Yankee fans it's easy to be a Yankee fan,
What up, Tom Seaver?
right? Um, but the Mets, to
Bobby
me,
Bonilla.
um, they're playing this year
Bobby Bonilla, what's up?
as if they really like playing with each other, which is totally different than how they played last year.
Mike Piazza, what up? You know,
Um, they played with last year. They, rookie manager, issues on the team, guys not
right.
quite getting along with each other, um, not playing together. This year it's a different team. They
David
brought in
Wright, what
some
up?
veterans. They brought in some veterans, Mark Canna, Starling Marte. They brought in some guys that play well, that are professional, that do run the bases well, hit the cutoff man. The Mets are not a power team, yet they lead the National League in runs scored. Right? They take the extra base, they hit and run, they do the little things better than they've done in many years.
We're not
Uh,
trash, finally.
finally,
I see it in your
finally,
eyes. You want to have this breakdown. We're not trash.
we're
That's
not
all I
trash.
was trying to say.
We're
We're
not
not
trash.
trash.
We're not
You can
trash.
wear you can wear the hat with your shoulders up now.
You
You can go
know,
outside with
I
the
don't, I don't,
orange.
I don't hear
Now
people
I can get
saying,
the
"Oh,
orange
wow,
kicks.
you a Mets fan?"
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. I
Yeah,
can grab the
whatever.
Bobby Bonilla jersey with the orange kicks now and be out here fresh. Like
I'm good. I'm
I'm gonna be
fresh.
good out here.
I'm fresh. I'm
Not
good
like,
in these streets
oh,
right now, man.
you know what I'm saying? I can wear a
I'm good in
current Mets
these
jersey. I
streets.
can throw a Marte on. I'm not getting Lindor yet. Lindor, you haven't earned my love yet,
I'm not
Francisco.
ready for Lindor,
You
but I can
haven't
get
earned
an
it yet.
Alonzo jersey. I can get a
I can
I
get a
can
Pete
get a
Alonso.
Brandon Nimmo.
I'm
I
not
can
wearing
go
no
get.
damn Brandon Nemo jersey.
Why not?
I'm
Brandon
not,
Nimmo's he's the
I'm not
table
wearing no
setter for that
I'm not
team,
wearing no
man.
Brandon Nemo
Brandon
jersey,
Nimmo's
man.
having a damn good
That's
year,
cool. I'm not wearing a
right?
Brandon Nemo
Why
jersey,
you don't
man.
like the name Brandon
I
Nimmo?
can't. Come on, I'm at Nemo on my back. My big ass back with little Nemo on the back. I need a name. You know
you
what I'm
need
saying?
you need a full name.
I need a
You need
full name,
Scherzer.
man.
You need you need Scherzer.
You know what
The
I'm
whole
saying?
name spaced
You
out
know what
on
I'm
the
saying?
back.
Didn't we have all Hershiser once? I need
You
a
need
Hershiser
Escobar.
back.
You need
Yeah,
Escobar.
yeah, man.
Yeah. We had Hershiser for a hot second. We had Tom Glavine for a little bit.
I don't
Thanks
want
for
no damn
blowing it for
Glavin.
us against the Marlins in the playing game. Good job, Tom. I bet if you was with Atlanta, you would have did that dumb shit.
The Tom was a plant. The
Man,
Tom was a plant for the Braves, man. You know how that
had
goes.
to. He had to have been. He won his but guess what? He won his 300th game as a Met.
I got Delvin out here hating. Listen, man. I'm a Mets guy. I'm a
Listen,
Giants
Dalvin,
guy.
listen.
Listen, I'm a Mets guy. I'm a Giants guy. I'm a Bulls guy because of Mike and I'm loyal. I'm
Yeah.
a Duke guy because 1992, March 28th, best basketball game I ever saw. Fell in love with Duke. Like all this is rooted in the heart. In Alabama, because anybody who say anything about Alabama can catch all the hands from everybody in Roll Tide Nation. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Don't worry about what my team's at. I'm loyal to them. That's all that
see,
matters.
see, people like that, and but that's a good point. I'm glad he brought it up because that gives us something to discuss real quick. When we first started the show,
Right.
we ran down who our teams were and why. I'm gonna give you this one more time. I'm a Boston Celtics fan because when I first moved to New Jersey, the first game I went to was a Knicks Celtics game. I was a little kid playing basketball. I loved Tiny Archibald. Tiny Archibald to me was the guy I wanted to be when I played basketball. So I got into the Celtics. My dad was a big Bill Russell fan for obvious racial reasons. He was a huge Bill Russell fan. Playing a black man playing in that city with all of that nonsense going on in Boston and still being a champion, my dad was all over that. So I became a Celtics fan.
Right.
North Carolina, Phil Ford, one of the best point guards that ever laced him up in North Carolina. He ran an offense that Dean Smith called the four corners. Back in those days, there was no shot clock. So if North Carolina got up by 8 points, game was over because they would hold the ball for 6 minutes, running, running a four corners offense. He's the reason why there's a shot clock, because teams was like, no, that's not right. We're not even given a chance. As soon as they would get a lead, he put up four fingers. That was the end of that. Phil Ford ran that thing to perfection. Carolina fan. It had nothing to do with Michael Jordan. It had to do with Phil Ford. Now, as far as the Dallas Cowboys are concerned, in Alabama, there's no professional football. So you had three choices. Dallas, Atlanta, ain't no self-respecting person from Alabama rooting for anything in Georgia. Anything.
What up, Calvin Ridley?
The Saints, no. The Saints was absolutely getting no love from people in Alabama. Nah. So most people from Alabama became Texas fans, the Dallas Cowboys fans. So that's what my dad was. My dad was a Cowboys fan, but he liked the Giants. He didn't like the Jets too much, but he did like the Giants. So my dad would always watch and be tormented whenever the Dallas played the Giants because he liked both teams once we moved to New Jersey. You have to realize our family is not from here. So me liking the Yankees, nope, don't have to do it. Me liking the Rangers or the Islanders, nah. That's not gonna happen. In fact, the team I liked most in hockey was the Montreal Canadiens
guy, yeah.
Right? So my teams are my teams. Now, if you want to root for the Rangers and Islanders, good luck to them. Good Delvin teams, good franchises. NHL.
Delvin is an all DC. I will say this about my man Delvin. Delvin is a full DC area guy. He likes the Commanders. Name is trash. Good. He likes the Commanders. Name is trash. He likes the Nationals. He likes the Wizards.
He follows the Capitals in hockey. Yeah.
So that's how my man Delvin gets down.
He's loyal.
All his team's ass, but I respect, but I respect it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I respect the fact that he's consistent with who he likes. You know, and like I have a friend of mine. His dumb ass grew up right here in New Jersey, right? But he a Rams fan.
Ugh.
And I said, okay, how did that happen? Well,
Eric Dickerson.
You know, my man, ED, right? My man ED, man, he was just a bad, and I just liked watching him. I said, okay, you don't have to like the team because of one player, but if you like the team, that's great. I like Phil Ford. After Phil Ford left, they had other players I liked there. Oh, the Mystics, that's another one. So, you know, I get it. He likes his teams down there, and he supports his teams there.
He does.
That's great. And then that's honestly, I'd rather have a guy that's consistently loyal and don't flip-flop all over the place.
Just be loyal to your teams.
Just be loyal to your teams. That's all you do.
Be loyal to your teams. I don't care where your teams are. Be loyal to them.
Be loyal to them. That's right, because they need you down there.
You know, I wish I didn't have to be a Bulls fan still, but I'm loyal, man. I'm a Bulls guy.
My son is loyal to them, and listen, Bulls a lot of it's my fault. You know,
I am a LeBron guy, but the Bulls,
Jordan got to the league. Boston was bad. Boston was good when he got there. He pretty much ruined Boston once he got. I mean, but I was such a Jordan fan. I remember, got to tell this story live. I remember buying your mom a Bulls jacket. Me and her had matching Bulls jackets. That's the only other time. The starter joint. And that's the only other time I ever wore another team in basketball. It was during the Jordan years.
Mike, man.
Yeah. Jordan was just that guy for me. Yeah. So, you know, like another team, you know, listen, I respect that Delvin because he's loyal. But, you know, we have reasons for liking the teams. It's not like I don't care about local teams.
I don't care about nobody but the Giants, man. I don't care about what the Jet does.
If the Jets do well, what I care
Bill does.
Not really.
No, I don't care about none of this. I care about them in fantasy football, but that's about it, man. I care about what you do there, and that's it. I don't care about.
Now, I will say this: I will root for certain players on certain teams. I want your team to lose. I want you to do well. All right. I want
Right.
like when the Giants drafted Landon Collins, my heart sank that one of my favorite Bama players
That felt good,
went
man.
to went to the Giants. So I want the players
Hmm.
that come from my home state team.
Welcome, Evan Neal.
You
Appreciate you,
guys got Evan Neal.
baby.
I mean drafting those Bama players makes me feel good no matter where they go. Now, do I want
Right.
them to beat my team year in, year out? No, I don't. But I'm glad that Mac Jones is doing well in New England. I'm not a New England fan, but I definitely like Mac Jones. I like Devonta Smith, Evan Neal, those guys that help continue the culture at Alabama. So I'm all for those guys. I just don't want your teams to win. I don't care if you go 0-16 and you make the Pro Bowl. Make the Pro Bowl, man. But I want your team
Oh
to
man.
go. So that's where I'm at, and I'm like that pretty much in any sport. If you're playing for Alabama and you get drafted, I want you to really have a nice career. I want you to
Right.
do well. I want you to shine. You just may go to a team I'm not really going to root for. Like if Devonta Smith scores 3 touchdowns against Dallas, I'm going to be upset about that.
If he scores against my Giants, I'm gonna be upset. I don't care nothing
Right?
about where you play college ball. You ain't
Right?
there now.
You ain't there.
You ain't kill. You ain't there now. You over here killing us.
And I'll be like, I'm gonna be upset
You gonna
about
have
that. Like,
Jalen
yo,
Hurts
man.
throwing him the
So
ball too?
you gonna wait till this game,
Yeah,
the
man. You gonna
ball
have,
out. You
yeah,
ain't
you gonna
ball
have
out against
him,
nobody all year. You gonna
and you
wait for
got
that game
Jalen
to ball
Hurts
out.
throwing him the ball. Like, nah, man.
That would hurt my soul.
I'm not
You
trying
know
to
what
do
I mean?
all that with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, but chill. Please
And
relax.
so,
But
but
that's
now
it,
we're
man.
getting ready for baseball. They're gonna announce the All-Star team tonight. I think the Mets should have at least 3 All-Stars. I think Pete Alonso should be on the team.
Right.
I really believe that. I believe Jeff McNeil should make the team.
Hmm.
He's second in the league in batting. I think that um, he's just one of those guys that this will be I believe his second All-Star team if he makes the team. He made it a couple of years ago as well. I think Pete Alonso absolutely should be on the leading the
Right.
league in RBI. I think he's either first or second in home runs. So definitely Pete Alonso. And my third player that I think on the Mets that should make the All-Star team is Edwin Diaz, the closer. I think he's had a phenomenal bounce
He
back
has.
year
He has.
from last year. I really think he has done outstanding. And if you can also throw in the case for Taiwan Walker, he's
You
having
trying?
yet another
You trying to throw 7,
first
8
half of
Mets
the
on?
year. Listen, another first half of the year. He's great. He may lose 8 games the second half of the year,
Yeah.
right? Like he did
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
But he's had a great first year. But other than that, the Mets have a good team
We have a
without
good team.
any
We don't have anybody
major
doing crazy,
superstars.
crazy, crazy
Right,
superstar things.
right.
Even though Alonso, after the All-Star break, typically goes crazy and, because
He
he hops
does.
himself into the little home run derby
Yeah.
and hits about 72 of them joints and then
It's
brains
amazing
on for the
how
rest of the year.
and that's a good point because it's amazing how some baseball players lose a little bit of their swing
They mess
playing
with their swing doing that.
mess with their
This
swings.
helps him.
But for some reason,
This
he
helps
gets
him for
more
some
locked
reason.
in
Yeah.
on balance, and he comes out the gate in the second half. Man,
And he goes
I'm like,
crazy.
yo.
Yeah.
So I think Pete is going to be an all-star. Matter of fact, if he's not an all-star, then it's ridiculous
You
if
gonna
he isn't.
ride.
But he
Yeah,
will be.
I see it in your eyes.
Oh
I
yeah,
agree. I
it's gonna
agree.
be up. And
That's
on the Yankee side, Aaron Judge is just
oh my
that
gosh.
dude is just nasty.
I
Man.
truly hope they don't pay him so the Mets can throw whatever they want at him.
And but you know what's going to end up happening? Again, we get into this whole thing about luxury tax, right? The New York Mets now have the money to compete with anybody in baseball when they didn't always have that. Even when they had the Wilpons, they threw money out there, but they didn't always throw it out there wisely. So they overpaid for a lot of contracts. Mo Vaughn, they should never pay them that much money.
Mo Vaughn.
There was guys that they threw money
Oh.
at that just took the money, right? Now they have a guy who kind of knows baseball.
Right.
So he's spending money, but he kind of knows what he's doing in spending it. Look at the pieces they put together. This GM and Sandy Alderson and his owner put together.
Right.
And you look at their names, you're like, Okay, well, all right, we'll see. But Mark Canna's playing well. Even guys who aren't hitting high for average are getting clutch hits. Guillorme's getting clutch hits. Dom Smith has come back up from
Right.
the minors. He's raking. Now you see that sometimes we're going to play a different type of ball, and we need these type of guys to do
We do.
that.
Yeah.
And that's what's working for the Mets. But if let me tell you this, 2 players are going to be able to write their own check for the Mets next year. Jacob deGrom, how much do you want? Because we're not letting you go to Atlanta or none of this other shit we hear might be looking for you. No, you can opt out and get a new contract. That's fine. How much money you want?
You're not going anywhere, my man.
You're not going nowhere. You're going to retire a Met. That's right. And Aaron Judge.
Oh,
because if Aaron Judge is put in that lineup with Alonso, and they do need more power in the lineup, the Mets could use a power bat, right? If you put Aaron Judge in that lineup,
I need the Yankees to be stupid and not pay him.
They have to pay him. You have to pay that him over $300 million, close to.
You have to.
You have to,
because the Mets will.
Because the Mets will.
The Mets will.
The Mets, and he will have to leave his apartment. He'll stay right there.
Stay right there, baby. Right. Just come on down to the Orange
right
and Blue.
Listen, if he ends up a Met, I just want to be able to go on Yankee blogs.
I'm not even going to do it yet.
And just read everything. I'm not going to comment.
I'm
just
not
going to
even
read everything.
I'm not even
They're going to implode.
I'm not even going to think about it yet, man.
Right? So it's going to be interesting to see about those 2 guys. As we were discussing luxury tax earlier, they'll see how the Mets approach offseason, especially if they win a division and go deep in the playoffs.
And
if the Mets go deep in the playoffs, they're going to be a team people are going to want to come to also, right? Because they may be a player away. They may be another bat away, another home run threat away, because they don't have, outside of really Pete Alonso, there's no one to fear greatly in the Mets lineup from a power standpoint. You have guys that can hit home runs. J.D. Davis hit a grand slam last night.
Right.
Okay? So you have guys that if they the right pitch, they can drive the ball. But the Mets are a singles doubles team.
Right.
They move the players along very well. They're using and they're hitting against the shift. And you're finding teams have to stop shifting against the Mets. Jeff McNeil hits too well for you to put 3 infielders on the right side. Right. He just puts the ball in play to the left side. Right. So they have contact, a lot of guys that make contact, a lot of guys that move the ball around, bat around. But they could use another power bat. It would have been nice if Michael Conforto had been healthy and maybe stayed with the team. He's probably not going to be with a Met after
No.
But it would have been nice to keep him. He's an excellent fielder. He hits for power. I would have liked him as a left-handed power threat to Pete Alonso on the right side, but it just didn't work out that way.
Just don't pay the Judge. Let him get out there and let us come treat him nice. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
come on over to the blue side, my man.
If the Mets can make that happen,
I'm insufferable. You gonna hear me talk? I'm gonna be out here with the Let's Go Mets.
Now, would you wear a Judge jersey?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But it's only 5 letters too.
Don't worry about that. That J is going. That J pushes it out a little bit. Now we gonna be all right. We gonna be all right with that J, man. Oh man. But other than that, man, again, we appreciate all y'all, man. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, we do.
I think we touched on everything that we wanted to speak about. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Please hit the like button, subscribe. We are back in another week with, hopefully we'll have some Kyrie news. Hopefully we have a little KD news. We'll see what's going on. And then we're just right back, man.
I'm going to give you a little preview of next week. We're going to discuss top 10 college football coaches of all time.
Of all time?
We're going to do a top... You know what? Let's not do all time. Let's do top 10 current college football coaches.
Okay, because we're getting the college football season.
College football season is coming.
I would love that.
You're going to start transitioning a little bit into pro and college football. Going to see baseball start ramping it up after the All-Star break. So we got a lot of things to discuss, but we're going to discuss
for you, man.
Where we would put certain coaches in college football.
I'm with that, man. I'm with that. That sounds
All right.
good. Appreciate
So
y'all,
get
man.
your questions ready, and we'll be ready to answer them for you.
100%. Love y'all, man. For the Quiet Storm, Ace up out of here, man. Y'all have a great night, great weekend. We'll see y'all back next week. Appreciate y'all.
See you soon.